Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And what a performance we have just witnessed from the Lions. Beating the Dragons 49 points to 24, despite going down to 14 men in the 20, I think, fourth minute it was. So much guts being shown by our Lions side, which are only getting better. And that, for me today, that kind of performance shows you that this team is on the up. Some individual brilliance, some hard graft, but also a togetherness that we remind you a bit of the Lions of old. There were times where it was a bit sloppy, but to go and pull off that effort is absolutely sensational. And yeah, credit goes to those players. Before we talk about the game and where it was won, where it was lost, as well as the red card, which I felt was very harsh, please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Right, so it was a pretty bad start for the Dragons as Roger Williams went to the bin in the 3rd minute. But they then scored a try against the round play after Sned Namba's cross kick was charged down, and then all of a sudden they basically went coast to coast and got their try through Harrison Keddy, with Will Reed adding the extras. But the Lions hit back, also going coast to coast, really. Henkoff and Vake going over with some really impressive pace in the 11th minute. Namba missing that conversion. Namba then had a kick a goal in the 22nd minute. And that saw the Lions go into the lead for the first time. But then disaster struck. Ruben Schoolman red carded, and I think very, very harshly red carded, because, yeah, I mean, the man basically did this and came back down and put his hands down to the side, and apparently that was the issue. He braced himself in the charge down, and Ashton Hewitt ran into him, and apparently there was head to elbow contact. I think the elbow itself was pretty minimal. I think it was more to the waist. But anyway, yeah. So I thought it was a pretty harsh red. I just, to have the phrasing and sit there saying you can't brace yourself, which your arms are always going to come down when you're coming down from jumping up with your arms in the air, and if someone's about to run into you, you're kind of always going to put your arms in the way. I think if the arm or the elbow is away from the body, I can kind of understand. But he brought it straight down to his body, so I thought it was a little bit harsh, I must admit. But yeah. So in terms of the rest of the game, the Lions did really, really well. They went down to 20 to 14 men. Kewan Horn scored in the 28th minute. A brilliant try, by the way. Edel van der Merwe keeping alive a knock-on advantage and literally going from behind the poles all the way to the other poles. Namba adding the extras and adding the extra 3. So the Lions ahead at half-time and started really well. Bradley Roberts got a yellow card early in the second half with a trip on Morris Lowe, which I think was so silly. Edel van der Merwe then scored his first try in the 43rd minute. Namba adding some extras. Ashton Hewitt hit back. Will Reed converting it as well. Then Namba kick a goal. Morley van der Berg try. Frank Hall try in the 70th minute. And Edel van der Merwe with a brace in the 76th minute to make it 49 points to 24. And just a really impressive performance, because, yeah, I mean, to go to 40 men, I thought that could have been the game done. And 40 men, and then all of a sudden, Dragons had a bit of momentum. But I think altitude and the heat probably played a big role. I think it added a bit of parity between the two sides, because I think the Lions were obviously generally probably would have been the fitter side and used to the altitude, but were playing with a man down. In terms of some stats, the Lions had 53% possession and 48% territory. The meters gained, the meters were 626 run by the Lions, beating more defenders, more clean breaks, fewer gain line carries, fewer offloads, more turnovers won though. They kicked from hand more. If you look at the defense, 76 from 100 from the Lions at 76%, 78% for the Dragons with 92 out of 118. Now we're missing just the one kick, 8 out of 9, so he kicked very well for the team. Will Reed was flawless with 4 out of 4. The rucks were very good for the Lions, and a lot of very, very important turnovers as well. Lions for the Lions were a bit of a problem, not as big of a problem as Dragons. Lions lost 2, Dragons losing 4. The Lions didn't scrum particularly well. I thought at times we could have been rewarded, but didn't get any dominance there after it was Schoolman went off because they were man down. 6 penalties conceded from the Lions, 10 from Dragons, 1 red card from Lions, 2 yellow cards for the Dragons. In terms of some individual performances, shout out to Ruan Dalport. What a game he had. The 21-year-old lock took charge. He had to. All of a sudden, Ruben Schoolman is now gone, 26, 27-year-old experienced lock, and the youngster had to go and run the line out. He had to get around the park. He had to make up for that, and he did it brilliantly. Really, really impressive game from him. I thought Henkoff and Vake played well. Edel van der Merwe is a special player, by the way. Not a single tackle missed, 42 meters gained, 3 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks. And the Humber, once again, great. Franco Horn, very involved as always. Manuel Tuka looked a lot better. He's been a bit quiet the last couple of games, but he looked much better. Asenat and Clever Kanye, give him a Bok jersey now. My goodness, what a player. All the Lions players played well, to be honest. I thought that Marius Lowe had a pretty poor first half and a really good second half. Richard Creel made a couple of mistakes, but made some great contributions. Off the bench, I thought that Willem Albers put in some good work. Ros McConnell came in and touched the ball once and created a try. So it was just a good overall performance, really. But for the Dragons, well, I'll tell you what, you must be sitting there thinking, how do we do that? How do we play against 14 men for 55 minutes and not even coming close to winning? The Lions will go up to 19 points, by the way. That currently has them in 5th place with a couple of other teams still to play. But I think pretty confident that I reckon we could see this Lions side in the top 8 come the end of this round. Let me know what you thought about the game down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steve. I'll chat to you soon.